Hello there, this is James Gersbrook, otherwise known as the Intrepid Wino, and it's time for Let's Taste. It's been a little while since I've done a Let's Taste. I've had a few other things going on, namely like podcasts and whatnot, but I have got some samples here. Another winery has sent me some samples, which is awesome. It's so fantastic that people would want to hear from me what I think and want to watch me taste some of these wines and share my impressions. So thank you very much to Jonathan Mogg, who sent me these bottles. And it's a winery. It's from a winery that I've been a fan of for many years, and I'm sure many other people have, because they've been around for quite a while. I think next year they're actually celebrating their 150th anniversary. So 2016 is going to be a big year for this winery. It's a Victorian winery. It's from the Grampians region, which formerly was known as Great Western, and hence why it's still labelled as Best Great Western. So I've got 3 new release wines here. They all retail, the recommended retail is $25, so these are outstanding value. But 3 wines, 3 different grape varieties. Let's get started with the 2015 Riesling. Riesling is a grape variety. If you are going to be joining us on the 28th of September at 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we'll be tasting 6 Australian Rieslings. But Riesling is certainly a variety that is probably closely associated with South Australia, places like the Clare Valley, Eden Valley. There are a few kind of regions in Victoria that are good for Riesling, and I think particularly this part of the Grampians has a really great reputation for Riesling. You probably might have seen my Let's Taste Live with Gary Mills from Jamshed Wines. His Riesling is from Great Western area. So this is a 2015 under screw cap. Let's get tasting by cracking that the screw cap. Just grab a glass and quick rinse. Doing a bit of an alfresco tasting for today, so apologies if you can't hear me over the traffic of Nicholson Street. Very pale colour, very, very thin, lovely kind of pale yellow colour, almost a hint of green in there, but lovely and bright. A little bit of viscosity, not too much. To the smell. Yeah, very classic Riesling, fruit notes, citrus, lime, that kind of thing. It's a little bit sort of spritzy, or has the appearance of spritz on the nose. Very classic stainless steel, tank fermented. Nice and inviting, very fresh. Pretty exuberant on the palate. There's some really good fruit in there. It's nice and sort of pithy in that textural style, but real fruit. Lovely kind of lime sherbety kind of tingly on the tongue. But yeah, lovely, nice ripe kind of. It's almost sort of syrupy in that kind of generosity. It's not kind of like exotic or really voluptuous or something like that, but it's just lovely and powerful, lovely, expressive. Yeah, that's benchmark. That's a great start. So let's look at the 2 red wines they've sent me. These are both from the 2014 vintage. I think I'll start with the bin number 1, Shiraz. Probably Shiraz is arguably what Best's is now most famous for. I think back in the day, they, like Seppelt, made a bit of sparkling wine, so it's part of the reason why they make one of the only that I know of varietal Pinot Meunier wines, which has got a bit of a cult following in Melbourne. But the bin 1 is kind of their starting point. Then they go to bin 0, and then they have the Thompson Family Reserve. Jonathan, please correct me if I'm wrong on that. But Shiraz is kind of where they established a great reputation for the Grampians region. So when I visited Best's, excuse me, back in, I think it was 2008, I stopped. I was driving over to Adelaide for residential school, and I stopped on the way back at Best's, and it's a wonderful visit. If you are in that area, I definitely recommend popping in to see a bit of wine history in Victoria, because it's a wonder. And I bought some. I think it was the 2005, maybe 6. And it had just won a whole bunch of awards, and so I put some down, and it ages really wonderfully. Let's see how this 2014 is looking. Jumps out of the glass. You know, it's got really lovely, spicy, kind of white peppery, blueberry, slightly, you know, small blood plummy kind of notes. Yeah, it smells kind of, I know this is usually like a textural kind of descriptor, but it smells sort of velvety. Let's taste. It's very light. It has that you know, freshness on the palate. It's got the fruit, but it's not kind of overripe at all. It's a well-made Shiraz. Like, this is an excellent expression. It might be a little bit soon for it at the moment, but it's looking a little bit light. It doesn't have the kind of intensity for me that the Riesling did. It's a lovely wine. Look, that is really still amazing at $25. And to be honest, it beats the pants off a lot of Shiraz wines at that kind of price. But it's just looking a little bit shy at the moment. Let's look at the other 2014 red, which is the Cabernet Sauvignon. Now, I haven't tried Cabernet Sauvignon from Best's for a while. I don't remember even if I've tried it. Actually, if I tried it there, if it was available at the time. But I'm keen to see what the Cabernet has to offer. It's a little bit more brooding, a little bit more complex and intense, and more, and dare I say, a little bit more serious. It's got some kind of Merlot character in there as well. It has that kind of plummy, that plummy blackcurrant kind of, yeah. It's soft, it's inviting, it's mellow. Let's taste. I like the freshness in this one. I think perhaps the 2014 vintage has suited the Cabernet style a little bit more, the Cabernet variety. I like, one of the things that I find that I don't like about a lot of Australian Cabernet Sauvignon is that it tends to be a little bit too heavy and too awkward and too tannic, and often, you know, it has too much oak. And this one, it's really not showing a lot of oak. It's lovely. It's very fresh and bright. It's got good fruit character in here. The tannins are lovely and gentle, but not kind of simple. This is one of the better Cabernets from Australia I've tried in a while, actually, and unbelievably at $25, it really is an absolute steal. So there you go. I've looked at 3 new release wines from Best's, very generously donated by the winery for me to share my impressions. It's great to kind of revisit Best's. I haven't tried their wine. Maybe I think I've had one of them a little while ago. Might have been a Riesling, an old Riesling perhaps. But look, I love Best's. I love the Great Western Grampians area. In case you missed it, I just had Dan Buckle, who was the winemaker at Mount Nangakuran in the Grampians for many years, and it was a fascinating chat. So I do suggest going and listening to the Vincast. But thank you, Best. Looking forward to next year, the big 150th anniversary. Hopefully I can get involved with that. But thank you guys for watching this little tasting. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share your impressions of these wines. If you'd like to suggest some wines that you'd like me to taste. And please get in contact with me if you'd like to submit some samples, just like Jonathan from Best's did. But until next time, cheers.